already been seeded by our non-terrestrial ancestors. So it was there. It just had to be probed, which means that we didn't lead an average, normal, everyday life. Although we did this to maintain family, our minds were always probing and always interested in reaching into that exciting field of non-terrestrials and what it really meant to us as humankind, because there's more to us than one can ever imagine.
When the space people ended their contact with Menger in 1958, they left many unanswered questions.
Well, they left. The original angelic people that I talked with years ago in the 50s, in the 30s, A Girl on a Rock, and then the 50s, and the many trips in the craft, they said that they would be back in 2012, that they go in cycles, but I believe that they are time travelers, and that they have bases on Venus, Mars, and many other planets. I asked them once, well, where did you come from? And they said, we have just come from the planet you call Venus. Well, that doesn't mean they're Venusians. They're travelers. They might have a base there. When our astronauts went to the moon and they came back, they were not moon men. They traveled there and back. They were Earth people. So who is to say where they come from? The one thing I'm sure is, almost sure, they don't come from this planet. And they're way ahead of us in political, scientific, and religious understanding. I asked them, why are you here? Well, are you here to heal people or solve all our problems and blah, blah, all this? He said, no, it is against our universal laws to interfere in any civilization which we descend upon. Your record, your history shows that your advanced civilizations have advanced on lower civilizations and have destroyed them. They've been here thousands of years ago when there was oceans where there is now land, and where there was then land, there are now oceans. And when they come back, the civilizations have gone down, disappeared, like Atlantis and some of the others. They come back to check on us. They are our ancestors. They helped us to rise up from Homo sapiens to where we are now, to a thinking human being who can make tools and who invent technological things to help humans live a better life. They said that they have laid down laws thousands of years ago that most of them are in our scriptures today. Various Bibles all over the world, holy books all over the world have come, they said, from extraterrestrial contacts, because they were considered gods in those days and looked up to and worshipped. We even made statues that looked like them. And so they said, all we have to do is read our scriptures, live the life it recommends in the scriptures. All the Bibles all over the world said, thou shalt not kill, don't kill. Don't covet your neighbor's wife, don't do that. Love thy neighbor, do that. Moses, Buddha, Jesus, all said all of these things. They were contacted by these aliens, angelic beings also.
Connie Menger believes that there is a strategy behind the proceeding of the extraterrestrials, a program to educate us step by step.
The alien receptiveness program is to gradually make us aware of our birthright, but it has to be a very slow process, and the memory of who we are and what we are is locked in our mythology, it's locked in our ancient scriptures, it's locked in ancient books, It's all over the world. If you will collate the information, you will see the pattern emerge. However, we have to go very slowly because the memory of that has been obliterated from most of humankind. And as a matter of fact, we may have been a quarantined planet for a long stretch of time. And now that we are being monitored again, and some of the brain cells that they so graciously gave us are beginning to expand, and they are beginning to recognize, at least a lot of us are beginning to recognize, we belong to a galactic family. Now, what is our purpose? Our purpose is to inform as many people as possible and give some scientific background to that, to show them that there is a possibility that we are not alone and that we come from a very different heritage other than anthropoid. As a matter of fact, we're children of the stars, but we've come through an evolutionary process because that's nature's way of producing better forms for better life expressions. They leak information out either by direct isolated contact cases and or holographic means to get the message out slowly so that the mind has a chance to adjust. There is a mental adjustment that needs to be done, and that needs to be done first on a slow scale, and then as it accelerates, it will become worldwide. And that's where the consciousness upliftment comes in, that if once they know that there is others out there, and they're very much like us, and that's why they're sending those entities that look most like us and are probably very close to us biologically, as I said before, because they're our family. And there is another reason. It must be done slow, on a slow process, because a higher culture will always destroy the lower structure. We have infrastructure in our industries, in our governments, in our religions that would fight so fiercely against this thought or against others coming in, because after all, the vested interests have control of this planet and control of the countries and control of the wealth. They don't want to have to deal with this on a hostile level. It has to be done slowly, and it has to be changing the mental set first.
It's one reason they're here is for a spiritual reason, to develop us more on a spiritual level. Technology is advancing quicker and going further ahead than our spirituality, and that's very dangerous.
Personally, I feel that we have to have a greater reverence for life, all life, greater respect for our planet, greater expression of intelligence between each other, and greater care and responsibility for everything that we do. We have to take responsibility and take charge for what is happening today, because that is the only way we can change it. And once we do these things, we become, I wouldn't like to use the word worthy, we become more receptive to contacts with other people.